Let's start with some basic history questions. Do you know how many years did 100 Years' War last? Philip?
100 years.
You are close, but not correct. 116. How about where are made so-called Panama hats? In what country are Panama hats made? Ecuador. Okay, something more simple then. During what month do Russians celebrate October Revolution? Felicia says May. November, of course. Okay, the last question, I'm sure you know answer to which. What is the first name of King George IV of England? Albert, of course. Duh. You see, some tests are more tricky than others. Some questions are more challenging than others. And even though these were tricky on purpose, life presents us with difficult tests every day. Especially if you happen to be a mother or father or a spouse. Living in a relationship with others, living as a mother or father, living as a spouse is or can be quite tricky because it tests the most important things that matter in life. Are you a good parent? Are you a good spouse? Unfortunately, there is no good book that teaches you how to be a mother, that teaches you how to be a husband. And even if you read a book or two, it means nothing until you hit the ground running and learn by mistake. Same thing can be said of priests. Even though I don't happen to be a father or a husband, life tests priests all the time, not unlike parents or spouses. And today's first reading and gospel passage criticize how priests act. In the book of Malachi, written about 500 years BC, Prophet Malachi accuses priests of failing their test. They were more focused on being court officials than true servants of God. They clearly, in Malachi's eyes, failed their test of priesthood. And then again, 500 years later, in the story of Matthew, Jesus is criticizing Pharisees, scribes, the priests of his days, for talking the talk, but not walking the walk at all. He says, listen to what they say, do what they say, but don't do what they do. For they give speeches, but they don't follow what they say themselves. I think in this critique, Jesus is giving the best advice how to pass the test of priesthood or parenthood or of being a wife or husband. The most important test in your life is that of integrity. Is your life following your words? Do you live what you preach? As a mother, as a priest, as a father, as a spouse. It is easy to speak of everlasting love, undying commitment, but then it is day-to-day life that challenges, that tests you as a spouse. It is easy to tell your child, smoking is bad, don't ever smoke. But if your child catches you doing this on your smoke break, your advice, your teaching is worth nothing. It is only when your life follows your preaching, when your acts follow your words, that you pass the test of integrity. And of course, you will make mistakes as a mother, as a father, as a spouse, as a priest, as I have made many. But our challenge is to continue learning every day. Is to continue aligning our lives, our actions, with the ideals we preach. Priests to congregations, parents to their children, spouses to each other. It is all about integrity. The most important test in your life is whether or not you walk the talk, not only talk it all the time. Amen.